think of an intro for you, Chris.
Bit late now.
Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of the WA Running Podcast, coming to you on Monday, the 11th of August, 2025. This week, we're joined by a former NCAA Div 1 athlete, fresh off his stellar half marathon debut at the State Half Marathon Champs just over a week ago. We'll intro him in just a sec. We also cover the Backroads Gravel Ride and Run, or the run bit anyway, up in Chapman Valley, as well as the Birdy's Backyard Ultra down in Lake Towerrinning. We cover some Wolf admin that includes our next community run on Wednesday, the 3rd of September, before we wrap up the episode with our weekly Weapons of Warp. Across my screen is someone who did not set up a GoFundMe page to fundraise for his next marathon. Chris, the Metronome Shaw. How are you, mate?
Thanks, Simon. Yeah, wasn't sure we were going to address that on the podcast tonight, but I'm glad you have. Thanks.
Yeah. How's your week been?
Yeah, pretty good, mate. Had a great run yesterday, which I'll go into in a moment. But yeah, just off the back of last week, potentially having a little bit of a calf scare. Glad to be okay, and just now winding it down, I suppose, getting ready to go on holiday in a week's time.
Not before doing a leg of Transcend, but we'll get into that in a sec. And across the other side of my screen is someone who is sporting a lot of impressive PBs across the distances, and he's got a very impressive World Athletics page, if I'm honest. But to cap off those really stellar times across the 1500 all the way to the 10K, he featured at the State Half Marathon Championships just over a week ago, running a very swift 68 minutes and 24 seconds. That's 3 minute 13 pace. That's faster than my 1 minute effort. So I'm very jealous about that. Max Mahon, welcome to the WA Running Podcast, mate.
Thanks for having me, boys. It's good to be here.
All right. So thanks for joining us, mate, because you've only just started your first day at your new job. So how's that going?
Yeah, it's going well. It was an early start this morning. Woke up, was supposed to go for a run, and then I was like, "Oh, probably not the best bet on the first day to rock up tired." So rock up to work, and then big day there, and then squeezed in a little treadmill jog before coming and joining you guys tonight, which is exciting.
Awesome, mate.
Awesome. When did you hand in your notice to Raf?
Oh, I let him know a while back that I was supposed to be starting this gig, and then I think the plan is I'll still hop onto like a Sunday shift every now and then, which is pretty good because it's not hard effort selling shoes, and it's just like a pretty fun thing. Also, just talking running with people at the running center, so that's just like something I don't find tiring, and it's just a fun little gig on the side as well.
For sure, nice one, mate. Very good. Simon mentioned a few times there at the top. Let us know if these are incorrect. So we've got 1500 at 3:51 from Sydney in 2021. We've got the 3000 as 8:17 back in 2020. The 5000 14:10 at Providence, Rhode Island in 2024, presumably while you're running overseas. And I've got Simon's written down 29XX for your 10K. I don't know if that is correct or if there is a sub 30 in there, but maybe you could elaborate.
Yeah, no, I did 29:47 back in 2021 in Sydney at the Sydney 10, and then I probably wouldn't count it, but I've done a cross 10K in 29:15, but the course most likely would be short if that was the case. But yeah, be somewhere in there, so hopefully 29 sub soon, which would be nice, but still in the 29s.
Yeah, cool. So if you were to put one of those times on your LinkedIn profile, which one would it be?
Oh, I don't know. I feel like I'd have to put probably the 1500 because I don't think I would run that ever again. But I'm getting slower and slower at speed as the years go on. But yeah, probably the 5K is the best one these days.
Nice. No, good stuff, mate. Very swift. So look, let's go back to the start, buddy. like, where did your running story begin? Like, where did the love begin for you?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I did a bunch of sports growing up, just the classic Australian. You do the footy and a few other ones. Did some surf life saving and tennis and all. And I think it was the case that I was doing too many sports and a few instruments, and I was told I had to pick one. And
Mm.
for some odd reason, I picked running, and it was the parents being a bit like, "Why have you chosen running of all sports? You were doing all these other ones." But I don't know. I ended up choosing that, and then wasn't really taking it seriously that much through schooling. And then after high school, had a few good friends in running who were in the collegiate system that came back to Australia during COVID time, and I'd say they kind of whipped me into shape also with the help of a good coach, Benny Saint, back in Sydney. But I feel like those mentors really helped me just like improve really quickly in running over a short period of time in COVID.
So the decision to go to college in the US then, like what I guess you had sort of friends that sort of got you into shape and fit enough to go there, but like what was like was it an easy decision for you, or were you sort of weighing up a couple of different things in terms of whether to go or not?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like for me, and I feel like I guess for a lot of runners in Australia, it seems like it's just it's something you want to do is go to college in the US. Well, I guess if you're not doing a medical related degree or wanting to do that field, because that doesn't translate back to Australia. But it's definitely something I've wanted to do. And then I feel like only during that sort of, again, that 2020, 2021 period of time, I thought of it as actually being a possibility because that was when my times were really decreasing. And I don't know, started to have a few colleges reach out to me, and then I had an agency reach out to me at one point, and they were like, "Hey, have you thought of going to college?" And I was like, "Yeah, I have thought of it." And they were like, "Let me reach out to a few schools for you," and that's how I ended up eventually ending up in Utah. And yeah, I mean, I feel like it was a great decision to do. Like, you go over there and you just get to experience a lot of things. Like, running is insane over there. The depth is unbelievable. You're racing Olympians. Like, I just remember first cross race at Oklahoma racing looked side by side with Nico Young, and it's just you got
Wow.
all the top dogs there. So it's pretty unbelievable, and you just get used to racing them every weekend. So it's definitely a great experience. But then also just academically, you find yourself just on the other side of the world, getting all this experience in these universities that you can bring back to Australia, or if you decide to stay over there. So it's a pretty unreal thing to do if you get the opportunity. It's just very lucky to have that opportunity and very grateful to have that happen.
Yeah, for
How
sure.
was that experience for you? Because it would have been a huge adjustment for you to I guess live over there for a bit of time.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty massive. I feel like the funny thing I found at first was my first initial reaction was, "Oh, the cars are a lot bigger here." Like, it was the just the classic like stereotypes of America, or like rocking up on the first day and ending up going in and out with a few of my teammates in Utah. And I
Mm.
also, of course, classic me, I didn't figure out that Mormonism was a thing. So I've ended up
Mm.
in Utah Valley, and I'm like, "Oh, what's this?" And then I haven't realized that's like everyone on my team's Mormon, but that was a nice little cultural difference to experience for a couple of years.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it was definitely a culture shock, but I feel like I don't know, it was such an awesome experience to gain, getting to meet all these people from all around the world. And again, it's just sort
Mm.
of it's a big boiling pot of people culturally and just like I guess passionate about running and sport that come to America and the NCAA, and
Mm.
getting to learn from them and race them. I feel like just grew me as a person, and just I don't know. I feel like I'm, yeah, again, very grateful for the whole experience.
For sure. And do you think, like you said, 2020, 2021, kind of around that time, you started to kind of take things more seriously? Do you think, like, kind of pushing in that period of time when a lot of people weren't able to run, like, or, competitively or whatever, do you think that kind of, that inability to get out and race probably fueled the fire a little more to get out and do something like go to America? Being, I mean, me coming from someone who probably picked up running more seriously during COVID versus like someone who's kind of just coming into it and or just accelerating their ability at that period of time.
Yeah, no, 100%. I feel like it was definitely the case of so a few of my good friends, so Ed Goddard and Josh Phillips were
Mm.
sort of the main ones. Cam Griffith as well, who was pro with Tin Man Elite for a bit. They all sort of
Mm.
rocked up back in Australia, and we all lived in this pretty close radius in Sydney, and it was that sort of only able to visit people through that 10-kilometer radius again and through running and sports. So it was a,
Mm-hmm.
do you guys want to go for a run or do that and catch up? And I was just able to hear about their journeys overseas and their experiences in college. And again, with them being a few years older and a lot fitter than me at the time, and well, still are, they were just able to whip me into shape. And yeah, it was unreal. Like it's not really. I guess it's rare to have the case of that happening where you have all these guys that are sub 14, like 30-minute or professional athletes all back in Australia, all being able to train together. So I feel like that short period of time really helped, but also the mentorship of Benson Lawrence as a coach back then as well, just gaining like his experience as an Olympian and professional athlete. It just really helped me, I guess, mature in the sport and be able to be like, okay, this is something that I want to pursue going forward. And yeah, it was definitely unreal. But yeah, 100% COVID, just the big long training block as well. It's just weeks and
Yeah.
weeks of nothing to do but train. So it was pretty unreal that time, that's for sure, for running.
Yeah, and so you said you went to Utah initially, but then you moved to Iona University, which is the NCAA D1 school. How did that like process work from migrating from one college to another?
Yeah, for sure. So they're both D1 schools, but it was just a case of you enter the transfer portal, and then you end up speaking to a bunch of coaches through that process
Mm,
and taking a few visits. You get to visit the campus and meet the team, talk to the
mm,
coaches, and sort of try to find a good fit. And ended up moving to yeah, New York City to Iron University for my final 2 years. And
mhm,
yeah, I feel like from both places it was cool to gain the difference of location and culture, but also just like different people to train with. You've got high
mm,
mileage guys, you've got guys in Utah who don't run on Sundays, you've got people
mm,
in New York who are from the area, just from Queens or running 100 miles and they're from, I don't know, Canada, or we had people from
Mm.
Great Britain. It's just people from all over the world. And again, you just chuck them in a small college area and just say, go train together. And it just meshes everyone really nicely. It's pretty crazy. It's a rare thing to be able to just, yeah, live in an apartment block and you walk down the hallway and you hang out with some Irish people and then walk next door and you got some English people whining about the weather, and then go back over and you got Canadians being, I need to go to bed early, and it's just there's a lot going on, but it's really cool. And yeah, definitely don't regret going over. It was an amazing experience all up.
So
yeah.
was there like a, reflecting back, in terms of the two colleges, was there one that suited you from a running perspective more one than the other?
I wouldn't say so. I would say it's the case of, I don't know. Well, my first college coach put it really well. One of his quotes is like, "There's many ways to skin a cat." There's tons of different training approaches you could take, and they all lead to the same place. So at the
Mm,
first college, it was a lot more just do what works for you, a bit more freedom in terms of choosing your mileage, and then again, not really running on Sundays. And I feel like, as you can see in Utah, you got all those marathon boys training there with Ed Eyestone out of BYU, and it really works for people just getting that extra rest day and then maybe hammering a long run a bit more. But
mm,
that works just as well as doing the other approach, which is what I was doing in New York, and that's you do a long run on a Sunday, classic Tuesday workout,
Mm.
Friday workout, maybe a midweek long run. And again, they all work. I just feel like if you trust in a coach, no matter where you are, you're going to get better. It's just you got to have faith in the program and working at it and just have that consistency. And that's what really matters. But there's really no right or wrong way to approach it as long as you're being consistent and not
Mm.
increasing too much or overdoing it. Like you can always overdo it, but you just got to keep consistent with it all.
yeah, cool. So yeah, you wrapped that up in what last year, I guess. And you're originally from Sydney, I think, right? So
I am,
what
yeah.
brought what brought you to Perth after you left college?
Yeah, a bit random as well. So I get well moved over from Sydney, and then during that time when I was in the States, my family moved across to Perth for their own work. So it became the case of, okay, I'm going to move back to Australia. This is now my home base, and then they've been raving about it for the past couple of years while they've been here. And I've been like, okay, let's see how Perth is. Like, I've been here once. Like, let's check it out. And then I came back for a holiday, and I was like, oh, this is really cool. This is really underrated. Like, I love how underrated this is. And it's like, sure, no one knows about it. Let's keep it that way. But it's such a lovely place here, and I feel like I fell in love with the place on a visit, and I was like, okay, I really want to move back here. And then, luckily enough, ended up securing a good job here, so I've been able to stay and like set base here in Perth. And yeah, it's worked out really well. Again, I feel like it's just randomly fallen into place, but very grateful for that as well.
Yeah, nice. And so you're being coached by Raf at Frontrunner at the moment. How did that partnership come about?
Yeah, I feel like that was pretty funny. Like, it's again fell into place. Really lucky for it. That my sister was actually being coached by Raf about a year and a bit ago. So she went to college with me for a year in Utah, and then came back because she decided she wanted to study physiotherapy, and again can't do the medical stuff over there. So she was training with Raf and doing some work out at front reception there, and got me in contact on one of my little holidays back of, hey, my brother's come back. He's worked in running retail before. Could you get him a job? And luckily enough, made the connection that way. And then it's just become the process of a move back and look to get some training, and started doing some stuff for Frontrunner. It's been amazing. Like, it's so cool to have that group atmosphere where, again, you get your people as juniors starting out, and you got the people take it really seriously. But then on the other end, you got the people who have been doing it for years, and they're able to handle the full-time job and everything. It's nice to have the approach of all different people, and there's not that, I guess, there's no attitude around you. You have to be a certain way, and there's no ego. It's a really nice in that aspect, and I feel like that reflects the group I had in Sydney, in that same sort of manner, where you get tons of people showing up, and it becomes a bit chaotic in that way, but it's in a great way as well, because you get to meet people from all different aspects and different career paths, different works of life, and it's just lovely that way. Because I feel like if you take, again, running a bit too seriously, you never end up actually being that good at it. Because if you're too one-dimensional at it, you're never going to enjoy it, and if you're not enjoying it, why are you doing it in the first place?
Pretty wise, mate. Yeah. Simon and I are probably asking ourselves those questions sometimes.
Yeah, why are we training for
it's a
this
tough
marathon?
sport. It's not a fun sport. I say that all, like, I'm like, why am I doing this? But it's at the root of it. It's like, yeah, again, why am I doing this? I'm doing it because I love it. It's fun. And it's enjoyable. The feeling you get afterwards, and it's also the social aspect. Like, you're going there and you're hanging out with people. You're going for a run that makes you feel better, and then maybe, I don't know, hang out afterwards. Like, at the root of it, that's why we all do it. Of course, we do it a bit more competitive sometimes, and then it becomes a whole serious. We're trying to race and do well, but you're never going to race well if you just focus on the race and the time. You got to enjoy it at the first point, anyways.
Yeah, definitely. So we talked at the start of the episode. You did the half marathon at the state half marathon champs just over a week ago. So your debut in the half distance. So what made you consider the half, and how has training been in the lead up to last week's half?
Yeah, I mean, I've always wanted to run a half, and I feel like that's been the area I've always wanted to go. Like, it's I don't know, track's fun and all the other events are fun, but looping around the track it gets boring after a while. And I feel like roads have always been my favorite event, and I've always felt like I can get better as the distance goes up. I feel like I don't know, the half the slow route all the way up to the marathon. So that's the eventual goal, but I've got to take my time getting good at the half before I make my way up to the mara. But yeah, it was unreal debuting. Obviously, perfect conditions, as you guys saw. It was lovely out there. But no, it was awesome. Like, it's, again, just getting used to the distance, and yeah, the classic, you don't know how hard you're supposed to go, and you end up feeling all right at the end. You're like, oh, dang it. But you live and you learn. I feel like the lead up had a few things with the legs where, I don't know, was just like, oh, maybe they're a bit beat up one day. And that's just classic with running. Again, you lead up to a race and not everything goes well. Unluckily, got sick the week before, which was not fun. So missed the Sunday long run, Monday, Tuesday. I have to look back at the Strava, but I think I maybe jogged Wednesday, and then I was just doing some cross training for those Monday, Tuesday on the lead up week. So it was not the best sort of feeling knowing that I've got a 21K race coming up. But it's again, it happens, and you just gotta roll with the punches and just keep going. Because if you stress about it too much, so it's already over before you get to the start line.
That's it. I mean, what was your game plan the morning of, I guess, knowing what the conditions were, and probably waiting around with the delayed start and all that? So what was the game plan leading into it, and how did that unfold over the course of the race?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it was just go out and see how you feel and just run it by feel, because you just can't take time to into account those kind of conditions. You just have to run it to perceived effort, and just hope that's the perceived effort that's right for you, since you've never run the distance. But yeah, I just went into the race and was just jogging it out with Dean, and then the hail starts and the headwind straight into you, and we're chuckling and he's laughing at me because I'm holding my hands out like this, like two hands in front of me, because the hail's hurting my face, and it's just a whole debacle. But yeah, I feel like the go was just pretty much just follow the wise, experienced Dean, because obviously he's done it for a while and he knows what he's doing, and obviously gotta admire the man that is able to work full time and do it at such a high level. So gotta follow the experience of him, and yeah, obviously gotta throw in a couple surges. Can't give it at all, but I definitely just gotta learn to, like, I don't know, keep with him as long as I can. And then obviously he's knows how to perceive the effort a bit better. So I was expecting him to pull away from me at some point, which he did. And then I don't know, when he pulls away, I've just got to try to find something extra and then just try to keep him inside, I feel. Because I feel like for me, it was just the process of, I know it's going to suck in probably that third quarter of it, and there's going to be more than I think there is there, but it's just that you're doubting yourself slightly, and then you've realized after the race, dang it, there is a bit more there. But when it's your first one, you're always going to be doubting, oh, maybe I don't have actually more there. And then you're kind of stuck in the race, and you feel like you should, move back a bit off the pace and take off the accelerator a bit. And then ended up doing that in the race. And I'm like, dang it, moment's passed. And then you try to reel it in and it's too late. But it's all a great experience. And it was unreal. Like, obviously you're not going to get worse conditions than that. So only up from there, and hopefully target a few faster races and courses down the line at some point. But yeah, it was unreal. Like, I definitely could see myself loving the half. Like, it was a great distance, that's for sure.
Yeah, nice. So yeah, I think you mentioned Dean there, and his experience. Like, you guys train together quite frequently, but I think he has referenced you maybe trying to towel him up a little bit on the hills through Kings Park on a Saturday. Is there a little bit of, like, obviously there's a bit of friendly competitiveness there, but obviously having someone to at the same level to push you is obviously handy.
Oh, it's great. Like, you want to train with someone that's got more experience. Like, that's just life. You don't want to be the best person there in anything you do in life. And it's great to have a guy that's so experienced in the half and the marathon there at training every day, and just be able to look up to him in everything you do. So that's awesome. But no, I feel like it's just the classic. I do a lot of cross training wise, and that just happens to be on, like, the stair stepper, which is that elevation stuff. So I find myself pretty handy over the hills. And then I'd say, I don't know, he runs a lot more mileage than me, so it's just going to be something which is not going to be as fun for him. So it's the case of, the distance gets longer, he feels better, the terrain gets more hilly, I feel better. But it's just it works really well, because it means that you got the speedier sections of training, and I'm able to push him, and then we've got the more tempo based or the longer sessions, and he can push me. So it's that nice works in tandem, and we're able to help each other out. So I feel like it's less of a competition, more so of just that helping each other out. And it's, again, you're gonna, like, I don't know, you're not going to be as good if you're training by yourself. You got to train with someone that's better than yourself, and that's that awesome training aspect of Frontrunner, how you're able to push each other. Like, we even have triathletes that come that are crazy VO2 maxes, and they rip sessions, and we're holding on for dear life. So you got some 800 guys that destroy us in some 400s or 200s, and it's just they
Yeah.
got all that young energy, and they're just like
Mm.
not afraid to go to the wall in a session. And I'm just holding on for dear life. But it's great to see and great to be a part of. So it's definitely fun to go to training, and you get whipped into shape pretty quick.
Yeah, nice, mate. So yeah, I guess the other thing I wanted to talk about was cross country. So you came second at the WA short course back in, was it June or July? Yeah, and finishing behind Luke Bate and just ahead of Josh Nivort. Yeah, you obviously love. Well, Carlos has told us that you love getting dirty in the winter months. So, is cross country something that you would like to do more of in the future, or now that you're talking about potentially moving to the road and doing the halves, that maybe you've seen the back end of that?
I mean, I feel like cross country helps with the road and the halves. It's
Mm.
well, I mean, you look at Andy Buchanan, like look how he's gotten, and he was Australian champion
Yeah.
cross. You look at Steph O'Donnell running crazy in the half as well, and Isaac Kane. Like they all come from a cross background, so you're only
Mm-hmm.
going to get better at the roads the more you do in cross. It's just
Mm.
yeah, I don't like you can't escape the pain of cross country. Like, and it's such a fun event. Like it's obviously there's less people in a cross race in Australia and in Perth, but when
Mm-hmm.
back in that college level, you got 300 people on the start line, all going
Mm.
out at sub 4 mile pace, and
Mm.
it's
Yeah.
craziness. Like I remember one of the first races I did over there, and it was in Florida, in Tallahassee, and we're just on this downhill section, and then you turn the first corner after 300 meters. We've been all out sprint at the start, and it's me and this guy with a Florida singlet, and just to try stay up was there's a fence on one side. We're like ripping each other's bibs, and like mine's down to one pin with 300 meters in of an 8K, and it's just chaos. It's such a fun event, cross country. So definitely want to do some more of that next season. Won't be doing
Mm-hmm.
any more of that this season. It's
Mm.
just I feel like get settled into work and get into more of a routine over here, and then can focus on the bigger road races and focus on those cross country events come next year.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Definitely.
And the other thing Carlos has given us the insight on is that you used to train with Sifan Hassan. Is that true?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's so funny. So nah, she's awesome. She's a good character. It'll be fun to see her in Sydney in a little bit. I'm gonna go over and hang out with her and her coach Tim. Shout out to them.
Awesome.
But yeah, so Tim's an alumni of my school in Utah. He's a good 800-meter runner, and then he coaches Stefan, and then yeah, did some training up with them in Park City before the 2019. Was it no, not 2019? My bad. Was it 2022 World Champs in Eugene? Is that the
Mm-hmm.
year it was?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it was that summer I was training up with them. Got absolutely annihilated in sessions by her. She could destroy anyone in a good tempo session, and just like her speed is unreal. So you can't get a better training partner than her. So definitely threw me to the wolves a lot with that one, with some crazy sessions. But yeah, they're great people, and yeah, can't wait to see them when they come to Sydney. Go for some jogs with them and show them some kangaroos. It'll be fun.
Yeah. How do you rate her chances at Sydney in a couple of weeks' time?
Oh, you can't bet against her. Like it's just with that sort of mental attitude. I haven't seen it in any other runner. It's just she wants to win more than anyone else does, but she also I feel like deserves to win more than anyone else does. Like it's just the hard work and dedication of someone like her that I've seen firsthand. It's just you can't beat it. It's just it's another level, and you won't find it anywhere else. I feel like it was just next level getting to experience that and train with them, and yeah, be friends with them. Like they're awesome people.
100%. So do you think you'll find yourself pacing her in the marathon?
Nah, I mean, yeah, I'm not fit enough for that. She'll destroy me. Nah, I'm gonna go over and do the 10K, and then
Cool.
yeah,
Mm.
I'll be tour guide, show them some kangaroos, show them some Sydney sights as a local or as a former local. But it'll be fun to catch
Mm.
up and yeah, just have some banter with them, show them Australia because it's their first time, both Tim and Stefan's first time in Australia. So
Wicked.
it'll be cool to catch up with some friends and yeah, get to show them around and get to see her win in Sydney. It'll be cool.
Nice. And so Sydney 10K coming up then in, I guess that's the end of the month. Will we see you race at, say, Melbourne or Perth in the month after that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the probably not Melbourne, just because of again starting work. I feel like Melbourne's
Mm.
a better race to go to out of the
Hmm.
two, but possibly Perth. I guess I'll just see how my body sort of handles again, just the full workload and everything. Don't want to bite off
Hmm.
more than I can chew. Like in an
Hmm.
ideal world, yeah, I'd love to do Perth half marathon and do all that stuff. Let's
Mm.
say yes, but again,
Mm.
being realistic, like probably going to be a bit much to do, and it'll be biting off a bit more than I can chew. But
Hmm.
we'll see. Like it would be a lovely event to do, and yeah, definitely want to keep it that half distance and just gain more experience over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome, mate.
Sounds good. All right. Well, let's get straight into your training week. So how? So it's been it's been 8 days since, but how has the last week been in terms of training and any key sessions from you?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, let's whip out the Strava and let's have a look. See, I've got to figure out exactly what I've done. I feel like it chops and changes. I'm too
Yep.
inconsistent these days to have a regular schedule, but I mean, after the race, I think I took a few days off from memory
Yep.
and let the body recover after the half. So I did, yeah, it was like a classic 40-minute run on the Monday, and then I do a
Mm.
lot of again that cross training double, which is just been pretty nice in terms of freshening up the body. And little tip I've found that's worked for me, and I feel like it's just a nice handy one to do is you do the stair step or double. So, well, I can't take credit for it, but that was a learned that from listening to another podcast with Geordie Beamish, a New Zealander.
Mm.
It's he does a bit of stair stepper doubles. So done a bit of that. So did an hour of that on the Monday, and then another stair stepper on the Tuesday, and an hour run. Wednesday looks like I did another hour run, and then stair stepper double, and then that Thursday back into session think that was it was some 6 times 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, and then straight into a 6 minute tempo, and then 2 minute float, and then another 6 minute tempo, and then 6 times 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. So pretty staple session, and I feel like I really
Mm.
enjoy that one around Lake Munga. So I don't
Mm.
know. The body felt pretty unreal. Like after the half, I actually, yeah, I felt good. Sent Raf a text. I was like, "Hey, can I double tonight?" He said no. I said, "Hey, can I go to track on Tuesday?" He said no. I was like, "Dang it!" But that's just classic. I want to do more than I should. So
Hmm.
it's
Hmm.
nice to have
Yep.
someone that tells me no and slows
No.
me down a bit.
Hmm.
Yeah, because I'm just wanting to do a lot. Like if I could, I'd run like 200 Ks and I'd burn out in 3 weeks. But it's like yeah, like in my ideal world, I'd run as much as ran to Japan and life would be good. But it's we're not that lucky and gifted. But yeah,
Mm.
Yep.
yeah. So did that, and then was Friday. I think it was just another jog and stair stepper. Saturday did the most rookie running mistake ever. Did the forgot to fuel before the session. So
Mm.
woke up, only had a banana, didn't have any water, rocked up and was already hungry in the warm up. So got
Oh no.
instantly dropped by Dean. And yeah, I think I could only hold like 340s or something for a tempo. So it's pretty
Mm.
rough. And then I was like, oh, this is just like, what am I doing? But then, yeah, felt fine in the Arvo jog, and then did a harder long run ish. Wasn't really long run on Sunday. Sort of progressed it down because I was just like, feeling really fresh since I absolutely butchered a session on Saturday, just absolutely rookie errors. So I think it was like only 63 minutes, and then it was like 3:30s, but just worked down on that one, which was pretty
Mhm.
nice. So yeah, body feels great. It was pretty nice and well recovered after the half.
Yeah, nice.
Beautiful.
What better way to learn from a session that you've got wrong by smashing yourself on the next day.
Oh, it's again just stupid. No, no, it was fine. Like I felt good. It
Mm,
was also just
nice.
squeezing in. Like I wanted to do the classic 90 minutes, kept going, but I had to go
Cool.
shops and
Yeah.
pick up a few extra shirts for today. So I was very
Nice.
much under time constraints as well. So I was like, oh, definitely just have to hop in the car before the store closes. Yeah.
Yeah. No, very
Fair
good,
enough.
mate. Awesome stuff. So, I mean, what is mileage for the week then? It was obviously a recovery week, but and the stair stepper featured 3 times, I think you said. So,
Yeah.
um,
I mean, let's have a look. So last week was 98K and
Mm.
4 hours of stair stepper. So
it's pretty solid week. Yeah.
We've been
yeah.
asking the wrong person to join our Transcend team. We've been like badgering Dean this whole time, but we should have asked the stair stepper right here.
Hey, I'll join. I feel like trail running seems so sick. Like, I don't know what it is for me. Like, it's again, the long distance sort of stuff just appeals so well to me. I feel like I envy all those people that run crazy mileage and run all these crazy distances. And you always fall, I don't know if you guys fall down that rabbit hole on YouTube every now and then where it's just you're in a trail documentary sort of mindset and you find some guy that's running across America or something. And I'm like, oh, these guys are so cool. So definitely give it a little bit. You'll catch me on the trails and stuff. But yeah, I mean, why not do some Transcend? I mean, probably get a no from Raf, but yeah.
That's okay. Well, we don't need to listen to him.
Yeah. Very good. Simon, how about your week, mate? How did you go?
So 83 Ks in total. So yeah, trying to get back into it really, post Gold Coast. So my key session this week was the tempo on Saturday, down at Scabs with the Team Tina crew. It was good to get like a good crew back together. So Tina's back training, which is really good. I think she's targeting the marathon at Perth Running Festival, so that will be really exciting. So she's back into the tempo sessions. It's good to see, Shaf back training, Stu Caulfield, Alice, Dan, Loz, and Tom down there. So it was a good bunch of people there doing the sessions. I think we were all doing different sessions anyway, but we all started sort of roughly together. So that was good. Been doing the floats since Gold Coast, so I'm feeling pretty strong, sort of doing the floats at marathon efforts and sort of pushing the on reps quite a bit. So as the tempo reps start to increase, I'll probably feel it a bit, but so far so good. And then I followed that up with a little recce run down at the Avon Ridge, which is the start of leg 2. And my original plan was to do the entire leg 2 and go back to the car. So that would have been probably like 26 Ks in total and probably 1,200 meters of elevation if I completed it. But Max, in the middle of leg 2, there's a creek crossing. And
Fun, cool. Love a good swim.
Yep. And, I've been looking at the Instagram reels. It's kind of like maybe max knee height, so nothing crazy. But there's been a bit of rain over the weekend, and I'll probably share the video reel after this, but it is a fucking river. Like, it is a flowing river. And I went in for a bit. I went for a bit of a dip, and I got to about waist height, and I wasn't even in the creek yet. And I just turned around and went, nah, fuck, I'm not dying on this training run before Transcend. So I ended up just turning around and head back to the car. So it ended up being 16 Ks, but because of the rain, because I got lost at the start because I didn't know where the course started at leg 2. I think I was running a bit of leg 1 for a minute, and it ended up being a fucking 3-hour adventure, only doing 16 Ks. And I did a decent amount of elevation in the end. It was like 800, but not what was planned. And I'll just say that was probably a good thing that I did the recce run today and not, experience leg 2 for the first time next Saturday, because I feel like we would be DNFing Chris. So glad to get that out of the way. It was an okay weekend, but I was hoping to do the entire of leg 2. So there's a half of a leg that I have no idea how that's going to go down, but we'll wait and see.
You did see the mudslide too, I think.
I did see the mudslide. The mudslide, that's going to fuck people over, I think. It's pretty... it wasn't as steep as I thought it would be, but I think just because of the rain, the mudslide was very slippery. So, I don't know how people run that section. It's probably just like tiptoeing down that sort of slope before you go back and climb again. But the creek crossing's not too far away from the mud, so you just navigate through the mudslide, cross the creek, hopefully safer levels come Saturday. And then I think there's one massive climb Shane was explaining after the creek crossing. But good to experience. It's actually beautiful. The leg 2 is beautiful. There's probably just not much running that I'm going to be doing in leg 2, and I don't know how much running that you guys will do. But yeah, leg 2, my game plan isn't to run much of that. It's just probably to survive and not roll an ankle or whatever.
Nice. Yeah. Well, I'll do my best to give you a head start on Hayden when I get to the end of my leg. But we'll have to wait and see.
How was your week?
Yeah, good, mate. So as I said at the top, like I had a little bit of a calf scare at the start of the week, so I went for I did the half and then decided to go for a cool down with Maddie afterwards, which was a 14K cool down. Ended up quite sore and crampy at the end of that 14Ks and woke up Monday very sore, but went for a run anyway. And then I think in the afternoon, I couldn't even walk downstairs and I was like, I think I've torn my calf. And I it's one of those things where you have those niggles and you think, it's just a niggle, it'll be okay. But this one felt more sinister. But look, had a day's rest on Tuesday and then went for quite a tentative run on Wednesday morning, and then everything was good. So I've forgotten about it. So hopefully there's nothing underlying there, and I can just continue to train through what hopefully is not a calf tear. But the kind of session for me this week was, I think we had that little session on Thursday where we did 4x4 minutes, which was a bit of more of a test for the calf, and then did a kind of a progression on Saturday with Henry on the bike. I wanted to do 15Ks, like kind of progress all the way to 15, but he was starting to tire around about 8Ks in. And he was like, "Why are you going so fast? Like, will you slow down?" And I said, "Well, you're ahead of me on the bike, mate. So you're just towing me along." So we ended up capping it at 12Ks, and then what was supposed to be a nice gentle cool down ended up being kind of 4:30s, and Henry was just kind of cruising. I think he was keen to get home, to be honest. So, so that was Saturday, and then Sunday went for a long run with Ordwin up near Lesmurdy, and we did have a small creek crossing, but nothing quite like you had. And we managed to do, I think, 1,200 or nearly 1,300 meters of climbing, and probably the most climbing I've done in one day compared to what I would typically do in a week. I think I've never done 1,200 meters in a week, so doing it all in one day, I felt absolutely rough as guts this morning. But yeah, nonetheless, I feel good now, and hopefully everything's okay going tomorrow.
So, okay, what's the confidence levels heading into Transcend this Saturday?
I don't want to put anything on it because I know Shane will be laughing at me if I say that I'm going to go and run the whole thing. So I will. I do love running down the hills. That is my favourite part of doing it. But I don't know how technical that leg is, and I don't know how steep. Well, I roughly know how steep the legs are because I have looked at the course profile, but whether it's runnable or if it's just kind of power hiking remains to be seen. But I did get my 5 pieces of rubbish on Sunday, which I was looking for the entire time. Couldn't find a single piece. We got right back to the car and there was like litter everywhere. And I was like, this is perfect.
Nice work.
Yeah.
All right, let's get straight into results, mate. So we had the Backroads Gravel Ride and Run over the weekend at Chapman Valley up in Geraldton. Looks like yes, we've got some 5Ks all the way to the marathon.
Yeah, so it's a relatively new. I think the gravel ride has been around for a few years, but the 5 and 14K have been for the last couple. But the marathon was introduced newly this year, and I think Tina won. Actually, Tina won the 14K last year along with Gavin Anderson. But yeah, I think Gavin featured again this year in the marathon. So from basically what I've read of it, it's like up in the kind of where they grow all the canola and stuff up that way, up east of Geraldton, but very windy, reasonably hilly, So roughly 400 meters of elevation in the marathon, but nothing outrageous. I think that you've written down here the reason why Tina did it. Well, it was Todd's last gravel race when he was cycling. So, despite having one working leg and he needed some assistance on the bike, he still had a crack at the 100K, which is like a testament to his like mindset. But crazy stuff. So we'll go quickly run through the results here. The 5K, the women's was run by Michelle Chong in 21:35, followed by Zaylee Shaye in 22:03. Coming third was Laura Anderson in 22:14. The men's 5K was won by Dwayne Cliff in 18:22, followed by Daniel Crombie 19:04, and then Craig Vinci rounding out the podium in 19:31. The 14K women's race was won by Nicole Chamberlain in 1 hour 7 minutes, followed by Lila Clarkson in 1:09, and then Olivia Lee coming in third, 1:10. The men's 14K was won by Oliver Vitanovic in 1 hour 1 minute, followed by James Taylor in 1:04 and Frederick Pritchard 1:09. Now, the marathon in the women's was won by Shaye Pett in 3:51, followed by Laura Bowler 4:07 and Laura Essau in 4:11. And then Gavin Anderson, the winner of the 14K last year, takes out the marathon in 3:14, followed by Chris Bolk in 3:18, and then finally Cameron McDonald in 3:30. Now, they had a marathon relay, so it looks like, as predicted by himself, our future PRF training series star Denzel Gould brought our attention to this race, and he went and proceeded to win the race with his dad. Team Dad and Dens won the team marathon in 3:18, and then the second place team was not the Verst, so a good play on words there. 3:34, and then 21 plus 31 in brackets plus one, which I'm not sure what that means, is maybe someone carrying a baby or something in a backpack or something, or if that's even legal. They came in at 3:39, so good stuff there. Quick shout out to my uncle Colin, who was up there. He's a cyclist, has been his whole life. He's just turned 60. He came third overall in the men's 100K gravel bike race. Had a beer with him last night, and he was trying to convince me to run the marathon with him next year, or he will ride the 100, but I'll potentially run the marathon. So it looks like I've locked my next race in for 2026.
Well, that didn't last long in terms of you not doing a marathon for the next couple of years. You've locked one in next year already.
It's an experiential race, not so much a road marathon. But it'll be good fun, I think. And then maybe if the dates work out the same, do transcend the week after.
Beautiful. Random thought. Do you know how you said that you weren't going to do marathons anytime soon over the next couple of years? Don't you have a Sydney marathon ticket?
I do. Technically, I've got one for 2027 is my last chance.
Oh, 2027. Okay.
Yeah.
Right,
so I do have one for next year, but 2027 is the last time I can use it. Yeah.
Cool. Max, you've done the half in 68 minutes. You'll probably do a couple of halves in the near future. Are you setting yourself any goals for your debut marathon?
I mean, it's 2 years away at this point. Yeah. we're settle down.
2:05?
Oh, mate. Maybe if I'm on a bike. I feel like I want to get a lot better at the half before I consider signing up for any kind of marathon. Like, definitely want to drop a few minutes in that one. And then once I've gotten a bit better at the half, and I'll go, okay, time to step it up. But until I run a decent bit faster in the half, won't be running a marathon anytime soon. But then, give it a few more years, and maybe you'll see me in the start line on Sydney Marathon. But we'll see if we can get there.
Yeah, sensible answer. All right, let's get straight into Birdy's Backyard Ultra. That started on the Friday, and it's down 80 k's east of Collie. So we had Colin Moulden taking out the win with 59 yards, followed by Simon Bannett with the assist, who timed out on lap at 59 to make it in 58 yards. breaking the WA event record, previously 57 yards at Hurdies. In the women's, the top woman was Margie Hadley. She seems to always feature sort of top of the charts in these backyard ultras in 33 yards. Jessie Whittle coming second in 30 yards, and Kylie Bell in 24. We had friend of the show, Wolves Run Club, Andy Carrington, coming in at 32 yards. I think that's just beating his record of 31, which was nice to see, and good to know that he got his long run in preparation for Melbourne Marathon in 62 days' time. So we'll see how Andy recovers. And we were looking at the list. I don't think there were any children there. So John Pence, rest easy. There wasn't any kids running this one. All above board here. All right. So Max, backyard ultras. Would you ever do one?
They actually seem kind of sick, to be honest. Like, I don't know. I feel like I would have to be just really, really stupid one time and sign up really late. I feel like I couldn't sign up in advance. I would have to be like, someone would have to dare me to do it the night before, and they'll be like, "You can't do a few laps," and I'll be like, "You watch me," and then I'll sign up and will not be walking for like a week. But yeah, it sounds so stupid, but so stupidly fun. Like I don't know what it is. Like I just love seeing those updates when they have like the front yard or the backyard ultras, and you see like this many people left after however many hours. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Like this is crazy. Like, do you guys have someplace to be? But it seems so sick. How you got like the little tent village set up at the lap, and you got all the whole community there. Like it's such a niche but cool event that's, I don't know, it's gained so much traction, and it's definitely something that I'll do off a dare or something, but I can't imagine signing up and preparing and actually training for. Like if you're training for that, that's wild. Like
yeah, not on Raf's watch. Yeah.
I feel like it's something that Raf just uploads his Strava or goes onto his Strava the next day and see that you've done 16 yards or something.
Yeah, or you see that I haven't uploaded and be like, where is he at? And it just sees me looping around and my watch is still going. It's just,
Well, 2026 Hurdies, Max, I'm sure, I think tickets are still available. So keep it on the down low, and we'll see you at the start line, mate. Let's head into some upcoming events, Chris.
Yeah, so obviously we've got Transcend this Saturday, 16th of August. So yeah, not much we can do from now. It's just buckle up and get ready to fly. We've got Christmas Island Marathon on Sunday on the 17th. We've got on the same day, we've got the Cyril Norman Lake Gwelup Run. I think there's a 5 and a 10K there, which is an interesting course. I think it's a bit to and fro. There's a bit on grass, a little bit on gravel. So there's a little bit for everyone there. We've got the Trailblaze Fun Run hosted by our good listener, Charles Bosveld at Soul Runners. That's Saturday, 23rd of August, up at Wollongong National Regional Park, 5K, a 6.5 and an 11K there. The Marathon Club is hosting the Perth 32 on the 24th of August with a 32K and a 10K. I think that race was traditionally done as a kind of lead-in to Perth Marathon in the past, or it's technically still is. So you do that 32 kilometre race as kind of like a tempo, I suppose, and then 5 or 6 weeks later, run the marathon. So be interesting to see who signs up and takes the win there. We've got City to Surf on the 31st of August in the 4 and the 12K. I think tickets are like $97 a piece. So if you're willing to pay that for 12Ks, then by all means. And then, of course, Sydney Marathon, which a lot of people we know are training for. It's going to be a big one. Looking forward to seeing how a few of our friends go over there. There's probably a whole bunch of others, but I think we read these things every week. And going forward, you've obviously got Melbourne Marathon and Perth Marathon coming up on the 12th of October, which you are running, Simon, and looking forward to seeing you finally ring the bell and fucking knock this sub-3 thing on the head.
Let's hope so. All right, let's head into Warp Admin. So we've got Transcend this week. I think we were just going through logistics over the weekend. So what's the game plan? We're We're leaving the car at.
We'll leave my car at leg 1, I guess.
Yeah.
Drive your car. You'll drive your car to leg 2 while I run, and then I'll take your car onwards to catch everyone else, and then I guess someone just has to take me back to my car at the start, at the end, hopefully.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a long day, but 6 o'clock start, and we're anticipating to finish it in about 4 hours, aren't we, Simon?
For my leg or like for total? All right. I mean, the mix record is what, 6 hours and 4 minutes or something along those lines. Let's get somewhere around there, I reckon.
No, it's not going to happen. But yeah, I think if we finish it, what did Bowbridge finish it in last year? Was it under 7?
Something like that, yeah.
Like, we can't let Bowbridge beat us as an individual. So whatever we do it in, we'll have to be better than that. Look, we've got some good runners on our team. You and I are not included.
No.
So yeah, hopefully the last 3 can take care of it for us and kind of, eat up any deficit that we've left them with at the beginning of leg 3.
Yeah, I mean, 3 hours to run 16 Ks over the weekend's not a good sign for my leg, but no, hopefully Rideau, Rochelle, and Dane brings it home for us. All right, that sounds good, mate. We're looking forward to Saturday and whether we finish the race. We've got the community run approaching that we're going to announce. So we're doing that with the running centre again with New Balance, and that's on Wednesday, the 3rd of September, 5:30 on the Wednesday Run Club. Hopefully we'll see some cool shoes for us to try on that day. And then we've got the finals Wolves Run Club Sydney Marathon long run, which is the day after Transcend. Looks like they're doing the Bridges Loops that extends to Madagarra Bridge and then along the foreshore there. So meeting at 6:15 a.m. for a 6:30 start. So if I'm not in trouble with Linda, I should be there, but it is very unlikely. She asked me how long my long run over the weekend was going to take, and I said, yeah, probably 3 hours or so. And by the time I got myself sorted and got back home, it was probably 4.5 hours later. So I've got a feeling that Transcend's going to be a long day, and I'm not going to be allowed out of the house on Sunday. So I probably won't be there. But will you be there, Chris?
Will I be at Transcend?
No, at the Wolves Run Club.
No, absolutely not. No, I've actually signed Henry up to run the 5K on Sunday.
Wicked.
At Gwelup, and I haven't done it yet, but I'm signing Maddie up to do it too. So it's going to be a mum v son 5K. All money is on Maddie to win. Actually, I think she doesn't think she can beat him, but I reckon she might take care of him, and it'll probably end in tears, to be honest, but that's okay. You have to learn that you're not the best in the family at some point in the
Very good. Looking forward to it. We'll recap that next week. All right, let's finish the episode up with Weapons of War. Yeah,
so we had our community run with Shane and Mitch at Transcend, as well as the F45 crew out at Duncraig during the week. I just wanted to give a big shout out to Emma Lindley, Eamon Fitzgerald, and Michael Edgar for coming along for a beer at Rocky Ridge on Wednesday evening. And of course, Kerry at F45 Duncraig for kind of putting things together for us. Turns out that Kerry ran Roto Marathon this year. She's a triathlete by background, but kind of has obviously that's gone to the background a little bit of recent years, but the fact that she can turn up and run I think she ran a 4:22 at Roto Marathon, and she's already volunteered herself to do the 50K at Feral Pig.
She keeps referring to the pig race.
Which would be great if you did race pigs there too. But I think that's pretty amazing. But yeah, it was great to see a few people out there. And so always appreciate our very devoted listenership to coming along to these things, and looking forward to seeing a few of you again on the 3rd of September. I wanted to point out Joe Murphy's workout during the week. He did an absolutely mind-blowing workout, which I'm not sure you've attempted before, something like this, Max, but you probably, of any of us, you're probably more likely to have done. Joe did a 9 by 1500 on 1 minute off, followed by 15 by 300 off on 200-meter walk. So effectively, he ended up running 27 Ks on a Thursday morning. And
Was
I
it
think
like the 1500 like threshold, right?
they were all thresholds. Yeah, they were like, it was all at 340 pace. So like, I don't know what at the total volume. I think it's like 18 Ks at threshold, which is absolutely bonkers. But Joe, I know that you're training for Berlin, and I know you're training for Perth Running Festival, but it seems like you're also training for the World Champs in Tokyo next month. So looking forward to seeing how you go, mate. Take care of yourself. I just wanted to shout out Will Pethick, an avid listener from Berlin, formerly of Perth. Turns out he's on the Bix. So he sent me a message in the week and asked how he could get a discount on the Bix. Gave him the code, the website, and expected that he might already know that if he was listening to the training series, but it's all good. Sounds like he's got his order in, and he's obviously got new flavors available over in Germany that we don't have here yet. So looking forward to tasting those in a few months' time. Brian Burke doing Brian Burke things up in the Chapman Valley at the gravel race on the weekend. He came 5th overall in the marathon. I was going to make a joke about Don Burke, but then I remembered that Don Burke is a bit of a baddie, and not the kind of baddie you meet on a dating app these days. So just keep up the good work, Brian, and looking forward to what you've got going on next. Finally, or not my final, I think you've got one here, Simon, which you've added in kindly at the end, but or unless you've done that, Max. But I wanted to shout out Renee Ioppolo from Double. She's been absolutely punishing her legs over the last few weeks in her preparation for Sydney Marathon, getting out in the trails like, I guess, most weeks for the past 6 weeks. And most recently on Saturday on a very wet morning, embracing the pain. Renee, looking forward to seeing you absolutely obliterate the course over at Sydney in a few weeks' time. Great work on your efforts so far. Now, Simon, what's this last one about?
Yeah, so my shout out for Weapons of Warp is Smithy to begin with. So Smithy was Christie's pacer at Parkrun over the weekend. So must be nice for Christy to have a professional pacer in Smithy getting the job done over the weekend. So that good work, Smithy. But I don't know if Christy had asked this other person to pace as well, but imagine being in David's shoes, being asked to pace Christy, and then be up against Smithy alongside you, and feeling very intimidated. So he was wearing this bright Brooks Pacer shirt for the event, just to show who's boss. So I just wanted to give David the shout out, and congrats Christy on the parkrun PB as well. I think she shaved over a minute off, so that's pretty impressive stuff in the Saturday conditions. Max, do you have any weapons of warp you wanted to call out this week?
I mean, one that I could think of that's less of a person, more an event doing something wild was I saw something on the City to Surf in Sydney making runners pay for tolls on the run. I don't know if you guys saw a bit of that. There was I don't know the full details, but I read somewhere it's like they're paying a bit over $4 to run through one section of the City to Surf for the tolls. So
Jesus Christ.
I mean, shout out to that. It's a bit odd. So it's just the one weird running thing I've seen recently. Runners paying for tolls on the road.
That's crazy. It's a bit like paying the piper at Roto Marathon, but that's wild stuff. Classic
Jesus
Eastern
Christ.
States energy.
Yeah, for real. That's if anyone's to do it, it'll be Sydney. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well,
Very good.
we'll leave it
Nice.
at that, mate. Max, thanks for joining us tonight, mate. Best of luck at the 10K. Best of luck in showing Hassan the sights of Sydney. And looking forward to see what you've got in store for the rest of the year, mate. We'll see you next year at 2026 Herdies.
Cheers, boys. Thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure.
All right, that's it for us. So you can reach us on Instagram at WA Running Pod. You can reach us by email at warunningpodcast@gmail.com. And you can join our Strava group called Warp. Thanks for joining us this week, and we'll see you next time on the WA Running Podcast.
I've had a quick look of the state half marathon record and marathon record actually.
Yeah.
So Nick Harmon holds the WA state half record at 63 minutes 46 seconds, and Ray Boyd holds the marathon record. So something to aim for there, Max, at 2:13:26 in the marathon for a debut.
Easy.
Fair play. Yeah. Give it a few years. Yeah.
Done.